Hey guys, so today I thought I'd do something a little bit different for you guys again. So I was kind of going through ideas that I could do for like a video idea and stuff. That's not what I normally do. So I was looking online for like ideas and stuff, and I found this thing that's like 40 of the most random questions you can ask someone. So I picked out about 10 of my favorites, and I'm just gonna go through them and answer them for you guys. So without further ado, let's jump on into this video. Alright, so the first question that I had that I actually really liked was, what would be harder to do? Tell someone you love them or tell them you don't? And for me, because I'm such an open person, this was like kind of a hard question for me, because I kind of speak my mind about everything. But I think, honestly, for me, it would be harder to tell someone I don't, because I don't like the look of disappointment on someone's face. That drives me absolutely insane. So for me, I think telling someone I don't love them would be so much harder than just admitting that I like someone or love someone or whatever. So for me, not telling them I don't would be like the hardest thing ever for me. So for the next question, it was, what do you think would be the hardest thing to give up on? And for me, honestly, it was really hard to answer this question because I'm like, I don't know, because there's nothing that I'm like super sad if I couldn't do it anymore. But honestly, I think that not being able to like be near my family or see my family, giving up being able to see my family would probably be the hardest thing for me, because I'm not like super close with my family, but I do, especially my mom. Like my mom and my grandma would be the hardest to not be able to see. And like the rest of my family I'm not super close with, but it's still, even if I couldn't see them, it would be really, really hard for me. So that would be the hardest thing to give up on, is like being near family or seeing family for me. So, yeah. Alright, so question number 3 is, tell me about something you would happily do again. And for me, it would be going down to Mexico, because I freaking enjoyed it. Yes, it was technically for a vacation, but when I was down there, I met the most amazing, I think she was the same age as me at the time, so she was 18 at the time. She was the most amazing young woman ever. And what I did for her, I would gladly do again. Because I was down there for vacation. I wasn't there for anything else. I was there to have like a good time, get tan, and that was about it. But I met her when we were doing a tour of like the old part of the city we were in. And she was so incredible. Her parents had died, and she was looking after her 4 younger siblings all by herself. And it was one of those like stories where they kind of lived in poverty, but they still had like enough to just get by. So I went up to her, I started talking to her. I didn't have like a lot of Spanish, but I still had more than I have now, because I was just out of school and I took Spanish in school. And so I went to her and I like started talking to her, and she was like the most sweetest, amazing girl ever. And when we were done like our conversation, I actually took all the money I had on me, which was about, I think, 150 American, and I just handed it to her. And the look on her face and like the pure emotion in her face was just enough to make me like so happy, and I would gladly go and do that again. Just like whatever money I had in my pocket, just give it to someone who I knew 100% needed it and all that. And it was one of those feelings that I felt like the most amazing feeling ever. It was just the best thing ever for me, and ever since that, I've been one of those people who I'd rather, instead of buying something for myself, I'd rather get something for someone else, just to make someone else happy, and I still do that to this day. So that was one of those experiences that just like changed me, and I would gladly go and do it again. Alright, next question. If you could do anything or wish for anything to come true, what would it be? For me, it would be able to like travel around the world, because that is like the one thing that I really, really, really want to do. So for me, if anything could come true that I could wish for, it would be to be able to travel around the world and not have to worry about anything and just go and have like the time of my life, experiencing new cultures and like all that kind of stuff would just be amazing for me. That's like my, on the top of my bucket list is traveling the world. And yeah, that's just the one thing that I would like absolutely love to do. The second thing is actually I'm gonna name two things in this one. So my second thing is actually to experience all the amazing adrenaline rushes that I could, because I'm not an adrenaline junkie. I don't get off on like going and like being dangerous and stuff. But for me, that feeling of like adrenaline just gets me like, I love it. And so like doing like bungee jumping, skydiving, parasailing, all that kind of fun stuff would be the second on my bucket list of things that I wish I could always do. But I have no one to do it with, first of all, because all my friends are too chicken to do it. So, and I don't want to do it by myself because then I just feel weird. So yeah, those are the two things that if I could have anything, those would be the two things that I want. So we're halfway through this, guys. We're on question number 5. And it is, what is your favorite part of the human body and why? For me, it's eyes. And for me, the reason why is just because personally, for me, I'm not attracted to like physical appearance for anything. So I don't really look at any one part of the body. For me, it's eyes, because you can express so many emotions and everything, and I would rather have like an emotional connection than a physical connection to someone. So for me, it's eyes, just because you can express so many emotions and you can like just get across so much that you want to get through just with eyes. Just like looking at someone's eyes, you can tell if they're happy, if they're sad, like what kind of mood they're in, all that kind of stuff. It's just, for me, I love eyes. And I don't really have like a specific color that I like. I just kind of like eyes. I don't know. It's kind of weird when I say it out loud, but for me, it's eyes. Alright, so question number 6 was kind of hard to answer. And it's, what scares you the most? And I don't scare easy. So for me, it was kind of a very difficult one to answer. I only have like maybe 5 fears that are like big fears for me. So I'll just kind of like name my like 5 fears. And I don't really know which one's the biggest, so we'll just kind of say that all of them are, I guess. So my first one is I am petrified of dogs. And I know that a lot of people are probably going to be like, but dogs are so cute and stuff. And yeah, they're cute. I'm just petrified of them. And the reasoning behind this is because I was attacked twice as a child from a dog. So ever since that, I've just been petrified from dogs, and I can't. I don't know. My roommate, her dog smiles at you. Scariest thing ever. It's freaking adorable, but scariest thing ever for me. My second fear is going to be birds, and I know everyone's like, oh, that's an irrational fear. It is not. Birds are terrifying. If you've ever been attacked by a crow, you understand. Birds are freaking terrifying. You see their shadow and you don't know like how close they are to you. It freaks me out. I can't do birds. Nuh-uh. So my third one is going to be loud noises. And I don't know where this one came from. Because most fears, like, you have experience with it before and that's why you're scared of it. For me, then this one and the next one, I don't actually know why I'm terrified of them. I just am. And for me, loud noises, it's like thunderstorms. I get so freaked out. I don't really like going to fireworks. I like looking at the fireworks, but I do not like the noise. Cars that backfire scare the crap out of me as well. Like, any kind of like loud noise. Sometimes even like concerts I don't like going to because they have like the explosions and all that kind of stuff. I don't like that at all. So yeah, loud noises. I have no idea. Same with the next one is I'm terrified of needles. And I don't know. And a lot of people are like, how are you terrified of needles? You have like 8 tattoos and your nose is pierced. And I'm like, it's different. Like the nose one, I pretty much broke my best friend's hand. She had like purple and I think I cracked a bone in her hand. And I also squeezed the water bottle so hard that the lid popped off and like almost hit the girl piercing my nose. But I got my nose done anyways because I wanted it, because me and my best friend, that was our best friend thing at the time, so. But yeah, no, needles. Every time I have to go and like give blood or like get shots or anything, they have to take me into the child's room, sit me down with a teddy bear, and I'm like bawling my eyes out so bad that sometimes I get hyperventilating and stuff, so they have to like calm me down before giving me the needle. And yeah, no, it terrifies me, and I have no idea why. I don't know. It's kind of one of those, it's nothing bad's ever happened, but I'm terrified of it. So yeah. And then my last fear is going to be blood. I hate the sight of blood. I can't do it. Like, at all. Like, I get a paper cut, and I'm like, no, somebody else fix this for me. I cannot do it. Like, I'll hold my hand out, and I'm just like, no, someone else do it. I can't do it. Which sucks, because I actually get nosebleeds quite a bit. So, my nosebleeds normally last for, like, a long time, because I start getting, like, panicky, and I just don't calm down, and it's just one of those fears that does not help me at all. It's just blood freaks me out so bad. So, the next question is, what is the hardest thing you've ever had to do? And I think for me, honestly, the hardest thing I ever had to do was watch my mom go through what she did in the hospital. Because my mom has the bottom half of her right leg amputated. And honestly, that was the hardest thing I ever had to do, was watch her go through that. And seeing her afterwards was, like, intensely hard. Because, like, she was still my mom, she was still there. But in my mind, because a part of her was missing, it was not all my mom. And it was incredibly hard to go and, like, visit her or anything like that. So yeah, that's probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do, is watch my mom go through that. Because I'm very, very close to my mom, and I love her to pieces. And anything that bad happens to her, it, like, breaks my heart. So yeah. Alright, next question is, do you prefer rainy days or snowy days, and why? For me, obviously, it's rainy days, because I hate cold weather. I live in the wrong country for all this, because Canada is cold. For the winter time anyways. Not in the summertime. In the summertime, we can get really warm. But where I live, we don't really get, like, a lot of snow and stuff. So when it does get really cold, I turn into a baby. I have, like, 10 layers on. I hate it. But when it comes to rainy days, I want to go outside. I want to be in the rain. I want to go for walks in the rain. It's just my favorite time is when it's raining, because it just smells amazing. It cleans everything off. It's just, I love rain. So definitely rainy days for me. So next question is, what are your 5 favorite foods? And for me, I don't know if I actually have 5, but I'll try to think of 5 for you guys. So for the first one is 100% strawberries. Anything strawberry flavored, I will eat it. The next one is pickles. And I actually have a funny story about pickles that I will tell you guys. So when I was younger, I actually had to get my stomach pumped, and it was because of pickles. And yet to this day, I still love pickles, which is crazy to me. So my mom bought one of those giant jars of pickles. It's like the family size ones. And I decided that I was hungry and my mom was lying down or something, and I took the whole jar of pickles. I ate all the pickles, and then I drank the pickle juice. And we actually had to go to the hospital to get my stomach pumped because there was just an overload of pickles in my system. And then on the way home, I asked my mom if we could stop and actually buy another jar of pickles. And she wouldn't let me have pickles for like 3 months after that, which was like very, very depressing for me. So yeah. That's my funny story about pickles. So, my third favorite food is... What is my third favorite food? Pancakes. Oh, pancakes. I could probably live off of pancakes. Like, if there was one food that I could have for every meal until I die, definitely pancakes. I love pancakes. It's like the one food that I always crave. I'm always craving pancakes for some reason. They're just good. I don't know. But I don't like waffles. I don't know why. Everyone's like, oh, it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. They're not as fluffy, and it's just, I don't know. There's something about waffles I don't like. So, yeah. But my fourth one... What would my fourth favorite food be? I don't actually know this one. I have to think really hard on this. Maybe rice. I eat a lot of rice. Like, if I had to choose from like potatoes, pasta, or rice, I probably would choose rice. So I'm gonna say rice is probably one of my favorite foods as well. I don't know. I don't know if it would be considered a favorite. I eat it a lot. Like, I eat a lot of rice. I go through a box of rice in like no time. Like, ridiculous no time. So, yeah. I don't know if I have a fifth one. I'm trying to think of like a fifth food, and I just don't know if I have one. Maybe milk. I love milk, but I love flavored milk more than I like normal milk. So like any kind of flavored milk I'll drink. Probably my favorite is banana milk. I love banana milk. I could drink so much of that. So I'll probably say that's my fifth one. I don't know. I don't know if you consider milk a food, but we're going with it. Alright, so my last and final question is, what is your favorite music that you're listening to right now? And as you can tell by my wall behind me, that wall right there, obviously it's K-pop. Ever since like 2004, 2003, 2004, I think, I've been crazily into K-pop. I have loved it. I actually started liking J-pop because I used to watch a lot of animes as I was younger. And then one of the animes I really, really liked, which was Inuyasha, actually had a K-pop idol singing one of their songs. So that's how I got into K-pop, because I looked her up and I was like, who is this person? And I found out who it was, and I like started listening to her Korean music, and then that's how I got into like the whole big branch of K-pop. I also, when I met my one friend in grade 10, he introduced me into a lot more K-pop than I was listening to. So he started showing me like a bunch of other groups that I've never heard of and stuff before. And then since then, I've just like literally probably know almost every K-pop group there is out there, and I listen to like almost every K-pop group out there. It's probably my biggest genre of music I listen to, definitely. I do love some EDM and stuff as well. I'm not a huge for like mainstream music. So like the music that's like really popular and stuff right now, I'm not huge into that. I do like the odd song, but it's not really what like gets me dancing or anything like that. So yeah, definitely K-pop for me. Alright guys, so that's been 10 random questions that you can ask someone, but that I answered for you guys. I don't know how to word that one, so. But yeah, I hope you guys liked it. If you did, do not forget to hit that like button down below. If you want to see more videos on my channels, I'm going to start trying to do more videos like this instead of like what I've been doing. I'm going to try to branch out a little bit into a few other things. So yeah, if you do want to see more videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Do hit that little notification button down there as well, just so that you'll get notified when I do put out a new video. It should be Mondays, but I will say on Twitter if it's not, and you can get my Twitter link down below along with all my other links down there. And yeah, comment if there's anything you want to see in my channel, because if there's anything you want to see, like challenges or anything like that, I will do them. And yeah, again, I hope you guys liked it, and I will talk to you guys later.